Drinking this album, listen to the brews. I think it would pair well, if only for you, 'cause it's album reviews. It's album reviews. It's album reviews.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Album Reviews, the stickiest music podcast. My name is Sarah.
Oh, you're a hawk? That was your whole...
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's how a hawk talks.
Hey guys, just like atoms in the universe, I'm made of mostly empty space. My name's Zach.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm on the pressure is on now. It'd be pretty cool if a hawk could talk, you know? I think we'd be able to communicate on a higher level.
Oh my god.
That was good. What's your name, Hawk Talk?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm Max. Yeah, let's roll with that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, Max, to the show.
Yeah,
welcome
thanks,
to Album
thanks
Reviews.
for being on.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. It's actually, this is my first time, I think, being a guest on somebody's podcast. Now that I'm thinking about it, it is.
That's fantastic.
There you go.
Because you are a host of your own podcast, Saul Good.
I know it's so fun and it's all good.
Is it Saul Good?
It's pretty chill. Definitely love to have you guys on sometime. Be pretty cool.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell us about that podcast. What type of podcast is it? Is it the same podcast we have, but different?
It's more, I guess, like on people that do creative things, people that want to, people that work creative jobs or do like, if you do art, you do video, you do music, you name it. I have people talk about that and just talk about what they do behind the scenes and like the stuff you don't normally talk about. So I use it as a space to do that. It's pretty cool. Been having a lot of people on. YouTubers I have on there.
Nice. Yeah, that was
I
a
had
creative
some
profession.
film skating. Just everyone. It's cool.
Nice. And you do a lot of video work. You've got a skate channel, which I need to check out. I did not know that before just a moment ago. That's rad. Do you skate yourself?
Yeah, I've been skateboarding for like 14 years or something like that. So
Nice.
Work.
been making skate videos. That's kind of why I have the skate channel. I was just holding the camera one day at the skate park and I was like, this could be something even more, and then kept rolling with it. So then I filmed skating and had a YouTube channel for like 12 years now, I think.
Dang.
So it's been
that's
fun.
awesome.
It's been fun.
And then,
I'm looking forward to this podcast. This sounds really fun.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little silly here in a little bit. And then I can see it brilliantly illuminated in your background. That's the Sofar sign, is it not?
Yeah, so you can see it in the Google, but you can't see it on like the camera. But behind me is the Sofar sign.
How did you get one of those?
Since
That's
I'm their head of
awesome.
video, they asked me to hold on to it. So what else am I
So
going to do? Just
what are you gonna
lay it
do,
on the
not
floor?
hang it up?
It's a nice bedroom decoration.
That's great. And so for folks who don't know, what is Sofar?
Sofar's Songs from a Room. They do intimate music shows where they host people. They host 3 artists in a room of like anywhere from like I think like 35 to like 75 people. I've heard of maybe 100 people, but it's just like the typical laid back show. The regular experience. Going there, people are throwing their beer and they're got the phone in the air and they're bumping against each other. Everyone's sitting down at Sofar. The location is not something that everybody goes to. It's like a loft or like a jewelry store or like a yoga place or like a rooftop. It could be whatever. I've had it top of the Sears Tower or Willis Tower, whatever you want to call it. So I've had some cool experiences and just started with those 2 guys, Rafe and Rocky, who had a bad experience at a show and brought like 20 people back to their home or 12 people or whatever it was. And we're like, hey, let's just have you guys perform. And boom, now it's like, I don't know how many different countries it's in now, but it's like all over the place. I mean, I'd have trouble thinking of somewhere that it's not. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, it's neat. The couple that I've been to have been in like art studio basements, or one was in like a bike shop, and it was
Yeah.
it's a fantastic company to work for. That's super cool you're doing it.
super cool. But I'm just waiting for things to come back video wise. So once they come back, I've been to a couple of them though since, so they've been really fun.
Yeah.
I know Sofar's up to a lot of cool stuff, so check them
Yeah.
out. Check them out. Maybe get
Right
yourself a
on.
ticket, and apply, because not everyone gets a ticket right off the bat. So
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of first come, first serve as far as these more intimate venues.
yeah, it is. And I think it's cool. It keeps it low key and keeps it fun, and it keeps you guessing.
Yeah. Makes you feel like I've never been, but I've had friends who have gone, and they say it kind of feels like you're a secret agent. You have to like show up to this undisclosed location with your secret ticket that you RSVP'd for.
Well, that's true. That is very true. You can walk in. I guess I feel like a secret agent all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really behind the scenes on it.
Yeah, I've like gone up in some like weird elevators because I have equipment. And then I'm like, where's this elevator? Like, I don't even know where I'm at. And then like I'll get up and it's like this big beautiful thing overlooking the city or something.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wow.
okay, all right, we're in good hands here.
Nice.
Cool. Let's get into the meat of it, shall we? So we're
The
talking
meat.
about, I didn't really say his name out loud till today, and it's kind of fun. Zach Heckendorf. Am I saying that right?
Saying that correctly.
Heckendorf.
What
is
if I
such a
was like,
good-
dude, you're pronouncing that completely wrong. What would be
It
your
could-
next guess?
I don't know. I guess that's just how it would be. But we're talking about his 2020 album Hawk Talk. Max, will you tell us a little bit why you picked this one?
I picked this one because I listened to this album pretty much every single day. I had the pleasure of working with Zach. I didn't know about him until I got to work with him. I was filming a show for one of my buddy's bands, Violet Crime, and they introduced me to Zach, and they had me go film his show over at Space, and the edits are up on YouTube. And it is really cool because I heard his music live, and we must have been like a song or two in. I already knew right there and then. I was like, this is what I need to be listening to. Like, why is this not on my playlist? And I was like, halfway through the set, he had mentioned something about these songs. Like, he has a song or two that plays at weddings. And I was like, maybe I've heard it at a wedding. And then I went and he has a song in there that I've heard at a wedding. I was like, oh, okay. So that was cool. That was really cool. And so I had that connection and had the connection to listening to his music from it being live. And now I just listen to it every single day. So
Dang.
that's my reasoning.
Some of my favorite music is music that I've discovered from like an opening band I didn't know about, or like a band I just saw at like Do 312 Fest or something. Because you've got like a memory with it.
You do. And there's something to be said about this because it's so weird. Like, this happens on YouTube all the time too, but it happens to me more often on Spotify, where I'll be listening and then Spotify will like even recommend something to me, or I'll discover something on my own, but they have like several hundreds of thousands of listeners. And I'm like, where have I been all this time? Like, how did I not know of this person? And it's so
No,
crazy to
seriously.
me. It blows my mind every time. And like, that was the thing I had, like, when I found his music out, because like, I love John Mayer. I love like Jack Johnson, like that sort of like field music. And I'm like, how did Spotify not send me this out of all the like John Mayer, or like out of all the like even like Neil Young, or like anything? How did it not just like pass me his music? So
Yeah.
I was like, well,
Mhm.
got it now.
Yeah. I also notice like sometimes Spotify will recommend me something in my Discover Weekly or whatever, and I'll really be vibing with it. I'll be like, oh, this song's great. I got to go check out this album or check out this artist. And then the album that the song was on is like 12 years old. And I'm like, what the hell? I could have been listening to this for
If
so
you've
much
been slumbering
longer.
on it, yeah.
It's just been hiding in a corner somewhere. Well, I think we should get into it. I have some background info on the artist that I found.
Let's talk about Zach for a little bit.
Let me pull up my notes because I was so interested in finding out about this person. Like, when I was listening to the album, I noticed that it was so like polished. It was super well produced. I thought the musicality was great, and I had no idea who he was prior. So I was reading a couple interviews and noticing that he was sort of this like quote unquote like kid genius, kind of bi-coastal, doing the music thing, stepping away, coming back. And he has worked with some crazy people.
Did you see who his producer is?
Yeah. Let me pull it up. Yeah, okay. So this album is produced by John Fields.
Yep.
Whose Wikipedia page is fucking stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy is incredible, and he gets to work with John Fields, who's just probably one of the best producers I can think of.
Yeah, he seems like a powerhouse. I was going through and making some noteworthy artists that he's worked with. We got Andrew WK. We got, y'all remember Switchfoot? He's worked with Switchfoot. Pink, Backstreet Boys, Album or Bruise alum Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah.
We've got the Jonas Brothers, Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, All Time Low, Daryl Hall of Hall and Oates.
Okay.
And I know the three of us all went to Columbia College Chicago. He has worked with none other than Friday Pilots Club.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was on the Wikipedia page.
Did you know I'm friends with them?
I think I remembered you saying that. I was watching your episode about is Columbia worth it?
Oh,
and I think
no.
I remember you mentioning that.
I mentioned it in the second to last podcast episode with Austin.
I watched that one too.
Her boyfriend was I think bassist or guitarist from Friday Pilots Club. So, yeah. And I used to hang out with them.
Serendipity.
Crazy.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, but John Fields is incredible.
Yeah, and it makes the music feel so like, I don't know, big is the only way I can describe it, because it seems like Zach's musical performance on this is fairly like, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but like pared down. It seems to be pretty acoustic, like guitar and vocals, but the production gets really fun.
Yeah, it's really full sound from what he's doing.
I think it's super cool that like you said, such like powerful music given. I mean, there's like some other instrumentation added into his music. Like he does some cool stuff with like the bass in it, and like has some cool little like sections throughout his music that have like some effects on it that are kind of cool. That I think give a nice little touch to his music. But yeah, for the most part, it's like acoustic vocals, which is like, that's the thing that's so crazy to me. And like, there's not too many just flat out like acoustic artists that I'll just like be out here telling my friends about. Like don't get me wrong, there's some really good ones for sure, 100%. But like, it's not every day that I'm like, hey man, go listen to this acoustic artist. Go listen. Like that, it doesn't happen. But with his music, I'm like literally stopping people in their tracks. I'm like, hey, you need to listen to this.
You're a big fan, you could say.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great.
I showed him to my dad as soon as I filmed the show that night, and I'll catch my dad just playing his music. Like I'll just walk into our house and he's on, and he's just like casually listening to him now.
Nice.
Oh, that's the best. I remember one year for Mother's Day, I got my mom a Paramore CD because she went with me to a concert of theirs. And I thought she was never going to listen to it. I think I got her the like self-titled Paramore album. And then a couple years later, she ended up buying Brand New Eyes on CD and played them in her Acura.
Nice.
That's so sick. And now you and your mom can jam out to it.
Exactly.
It's so sick.
I want to talk about Borrow My Heart by Zach Heckendorf, the album we are talking about. Do you guys want to hear a little bit first before I got to say what I got to say?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's dive in.
Yeah, what a great intro to the track. You get what he's about right off the back. It's some really brilliantly recorded guitar tracks, and then just his voice on top of it. It's fantastic.
His writing is also just like so good. I appreciate his writing, and the overall like messages of his music is just top notch in my mind.
Yeah, I made a note for myself. Well, you kind of mentioned this earlier, Max, but it definitely has a huge like Jack Johnson vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've brought this up on the show before, but when I was a kid, I used to listen to the Jack Johnson album that he did for the Curious George movie.
Oh,
so
sick.
that is very near and dear to my heart. And this kind of reminded me of that. That very
Oh.
bright, sunshiny. Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that.
Chill summer vibes.
That's how I feel about the whole album.
Yeah, no, I love the track. It's fantastic. Do you guys want to talk about Up or Waves?
Up is just a great mood setter song. I mean, he released that song, if I'm not mistaken, during COVID, which was like a great time for that song to come out. I think it was released as a single, and it got like a ton of streams when it came out. But it's got that 3-5-3-5 pattern to it. It's up, 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 and then the next chorus is up, up, up. Which is a really like memorable thing when you're like singing along to it, I guess.
Yeah, it is the most played track on the album, 113,000 compared to everything else. Yeah,
It's so good. And like when you hear it, it's a good mood setter, makes you feel good. Yeah, and I think it's just like a good subtle reminder that like, you know, there's like a brighter side to stuff.
yeah, which we all needed in 2020, that's for sure.
Yeah. At least, I don't know if that's how everyone interprets it, but that's at least how I interpreted the song on a very Reader's Digest level.
Mhm. Well, when I was doing some research on this album, reading a couple of interviews and stuff, it seemed like a lot of the sort of message and story behind the album was about Zach's kind of artistic journey and like need to step away from music for a little while, feeling overwhelmed by creative blocks and just, you know, outside challenges and things. But it seems like big themes on this album, and I think this song is a great example of that, is bouncing back, kind of finding like inner strength. He mentions inner power a lot and kind of channeling that into something you're excited about.
Yeah. I think it's a great message for the album. I mean, it speaks for the album itself. And it makes sense when you think about the whole album too. I mean, even thinking about the song Waves. I mean, I don't even need to say it. Like the song speaks for that exactly. I mean, it's a very like descriptive song, I guess is the best way to put it.
You want to play Waves and talk more about Waves?
Sure.
Yeah, let's get
do
into
it.
Waves.
Temporary, so let them take you away, Well, it comes in waves. Well, it comes in waves.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the more popular bassline-y kind of dancey ones on it too.
I think that was what he actually told me too. I think that one he told me
Oh.
is more like poppy. Or maybe either he told me or he mentioned it at the show, one or the other.
Yeah.
But it has some cool instrumentation to it. It has that one part, it's like a bass breakdown part in it, where it has some like effects on it. Oh, I love that part of the song. I will like rewind the song for that little part. It's so cool.
Is that like, that's like closer to the end, right? Where he starts
Yeah.
kind of like
It's like,
spitting.
like at the very end of it.
With no anchor, the truth is that we could sink so easily.
And he starts spitting.
Yeah.
That's another thing he does that's so dang cool. He has these like, it's a like a rap line or like he'll just like spit these words so like quickly, and it just goes with his music. I don't think I've ever encountered that in like other music that I listen to. I mean, sure, there's like other like rap songs out there, but I mean, like as far as like an acoustic song, like I think that is on another level of itself.
Yeah, he'll just kind of like unexpectedly smuggle in a verse,
Yeah.
a couple
right.
bars, just to round it out. In
It's
case
so
you're getting
cool.
too comfortable.
That's that's one thing I really like about his music for sure.
All right, I am excited to talk about this song. This is probably my favorite off the album. Is the Empty song, song number 4, and it's because I'm a big old slut for songs about science. Because he goes, the universe is mostly empty space, and he says atoms are mostly empty space, and he's using that as a metaphor for how empty he's feeling. But have you guys ever read any of that science about how much of an atom is empty?
Absolutely not.
It's
Science who?
Science where? Don't know where.
Max, are you familiar with any of this science from your
is
extensive
science?
Columbia
I don't know
College
what that
science
is.
degree? Oh yeah, we didn't mention this. We're all 3 Columbia grads.
Unfortunately.
So
Yeah.
we can shit on it as much as we want. So yeah, like in an atom is the the neutrons and the protons, and then the electrons around it, and most of that is empty space. So he's like, man, we are just out here being empty, and I like the lyrics a lot in this one, and I've got a game prepared for it. This is a returning bit called Pop Science, more like Poop Science. And I got that name because I bookmarked the bits I need from this book with toilet paper, because that's where I do the research for this show.
Jesus.
So this is a book written by James Ball. It's called Pop Science: Serious Answers to the Deep Questions Posed in Song. And so what he has done is he has found some of the greatest questions asked in all time posed in lyrics, and answered them with science. So in this game, I'm going to pose you guys the questions. You'll answer, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong, or if you got it right.
What if we get them
good.
so right?
We went to Columbia. We're not going to.
Yeah, we're supposed to
Ye
get
of
it
little
wrong.
faith.
Cool. Here is the first question I would like to pose to you guys. Are we human, or are we dancer?
Well, is there a third option? C, all of the above?
No, it's really black and white the way he poses it in the song.
Well, I suppose by default, we're all human, right? And only a select few of us.
No, I'm not human.
So are you dancer? Or are you prancer or vixen?
I don't know what I am.
You could potentially not identify as human.
I guess that's true.
I mean, humans have a pretty bad rep. I would much rather be like a giraffe. What did a giraffe ever do to anybody?
But the giraffe isn't an option. I'm gonna lock in and say we're human.
Okay. How about you?
I'm going
Max?
to go
What
with
do you think?
that too.
Yeah, so here is what James Ball has to say about it. He says, in the UK, for examples, that 21,000 people are employed or self-employed as dancers or choreographers. So he says that 99.97% of us should answer human, but 0.03% are the fortunate enough to be able to also answer dancer. That's a really lame thing. I would think we should think about it more philosophy. What does it mean to be a dancer? Can things dance that aren't human? A flower in the wind.
Yeah.
A birds in their mating dance, right?
Ripples
Right.
making their way down the river.
That was beautiful, Sarah. You should be hilarious. You should be in this book. Yeah, there we go. Well, now we know 99% of us are, in fact, not dancer. You guys ready for another?
Yes, please.
Am I a creep?
Yes. Zach, I've known you for a long time.
That one hurt my feet.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were making a Radiohead reference.
It is, yes. That is the question posed in the song by Radiohead. Is am I
That's
a
the
creep?
one thing I remember.
So are you a creep, Max?
No.
That felt weird to ask. I'm sorry.
Hey, you creepy creep.
Hey,
Are you a creep?
Are you a creep?
You know, before I continue this podcast, hey, are you a creep?
Hey, we didn't conduct our background check earlier.
Yeah.
Are you a creep?
Yeah, I actually had to get off of this episode if you are, so just let me know now.
Let us know. That should have been in the
We might be able to let it pass if you're a creep. But the second question is, are you a weirdo?
What the hell are you doing here?
Wait, is that going to determine if I get to stay on or not?
I don't know yet. I'll never tell.
Well, can I be a weirdo but not a creep? Or can I be a creep but not a weirdo?
I don't know.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
It depends on what like the podcast rules are.
Oh.
We're just doing science out here. That's, you know.
You know what? I'm gonna go on a hard no on both.
Okay. So Zach's sitting next to me. I looked over at the book and I'm seeing a Venn diagram.
This is a fantastic
Not the
book.
Venn diagram.
That's how you know we're really doing science here. Zach, will you tell us the answer to this question, please?
Sure. So I highlighted the answer in some of these so I could do it quickly in the pod. I highlighted the most in this one. There's so much to say about whether you are a creep or not. Here it goes. He merely creates two false categories, creep and fucking special, in which one must fall. There's evidence that someone's skin making you cry could be constructed as creepy, but is certainly not conclusive. I agree with that. Here is a empirical study done on creepiness, which involved 1,300 people. Here are some of the features for being creepy. Unkept hair.
Is this like
This is a
Max? Do you remember those TikTok like put a finger down?
Oh, not the put a finger down. Not that.
Let's see. I'm gonna put 5 fingers up
Okay.
just
Not
while
the
Zach is reading
fingers.
this criteria.
Oh no! Put a finger down.
Creepiness edition.
Creepiness edition. Am I a creep by Radiohead? Men are more likely to be creepies. Put it down, finger down if you're a man. Here are the creepiest professions. Put a finger down if you do any of these. Are you a clown, Sarah?
No.
No.
Only on the internet.
Taxidermist. Do any of us own a sex shop?
Let me think about that for a second. No,
No. Okay, cool. Or funeral director. Those are the creepiest professions. Okay, none of us are that. When it comes to appearance associated with creepiness, they are unkept hair.
Not today.
Today, pale skin. Sorry.
Oh.
Bags under their eyes.
Aw.
Yep. Shit.
Odd or dirty clothing. Steering the conversation to one topic. Damn it, we do that all the time. That's what the podcast is.
oh, I do that all the time. Okay, let me.
Standing too close and licking lips are the other things they found creepy. I did not like that. That was not good audio, Sarah.
Some ASMR right there.
Yeah.
Why did I hear
Yeah.
that perfectly clear?
Spit.
There we go. So now we can scientifically discern if we're a creep or a weirdo or if skin makes us cry. Let's get back into the album.
That was a fun bit.
Thanks. Thanks, Max. We learned about
Yay.
science.
Can always use some science.
I did have a brief note for the song Reasons.
Sure.
Yeah.
It takes 2 seconds, but at the beginning, Zach sings, there's a reason for your astrological sign. I just want to say, for the record, I found his birthday. It's January 3rd. Zach is a Capricorn.
Is that good or bad?
In my experience, Capricorns are workhorses. They're pumping it out.
Sure. That makes
So
sense.
depends on your perception of that.
His moon sign?
I don't know his whole chart.
Max, do you know his whole chart?
Yeah, I know everything about him. I'm the Zach expert. So
Of course.
Yeah. Maybe you are a creep. No, I'm just kidding. I hope Zach does listen to this and be like, hey, I remember that Max guy. He did an awesome video.
yeah, I do like that song Reasons, nonetheless. It's a really good song. The things that I think I've said this over and over again, but his music makes you feel good. And when you listen to it, you have that same sort of feel good feeling throughout his music. At least I do. I don't know if anybody else gets that, but it's like, it makes you just feel good. And it's like, the deeper you think about it, the more you can relate to his music. Reasons is just a culmination of that.
A lot of his writing isn't too like abstract. You can really tell what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So it's easy to relate to in a lot of ways.
You know what I wrote about a couple of these songs? And this is very niche, but I noted a couple of these as quote unquote Starbucks bangers. Here's what I mean by that. You're at Starbucks, you're there posted up, getting some studying done, sipping your macchiato or whatever. And some of these are songs that come on their sort of like good vibes playlist. but they stick out. You're like, why is this guy dropping a verse on this playlist? Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I'm paying attention. And I think I noted Reasons as that.
It is. And I love the guitar on Reasons too. It's so interesting to me. It's like those chords. I could just sit there and like replay that song 150 times. Those chords are crazy.
Yeah, I've been diddling at guitar for a little bit, and I just wanted to learn so many of these guitar riffs because they hit good.
Watching him play is something else. You should go to one of his shows when he has one back here. They're gonna be,
and we'll
first off, you'll see me there.
Love.
and we'll for sure share some of that video work you did for the listeners at home, so
appreciate
they can
it.
go check out his little fingies at work. You guys want to talk about Hero?
Yeah, let's do it.
My favorite
'Cause,
Switchfoot song.
You know, everyone's got to be their own hero.
Yeah, that's another good one. That's just kind of feel goody. His lyricism is all very optimistic.
And it's like, I don't know, maybe I've thought too deep on the song, but it's like, at the end of the day, like, I agree with him with that song. It's like, you gotta be your own hero, you know? It's like, you sit there and you can only wait for other people to, like, lift you up or for other people to, like, rely on for you to do something for so long, and it just doesn't always work that way. Like, sure, there's someone that can hype you up or whatever, but, like, at the end of the day, like, you're the captain of your own ship, so it's like, why not be your own hero? And I know that's a very surface level meaning to what the whole song is, but that's at least where I started thinking about, or that's what I started thinking about when I thought about the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an excellent take.
And yeah, it's just, and there's obviously a deeper meaning to it, but
Well, I was going to say, like, I think as far as like the themes we were kind of talking about with this album, about creative slumps and getting back into it, I feel like this is something that the three of us could totally relate to as creative professionals. Is at a certain point, like, you have to just do the thing if you want to do the thing. We did an interview with, Max, you might know this. Do you remember on TikTok there was a trend where everyone was finding songs that had their names in them and also had poop?
no, I never saw that. I missed
Okay.
that on TikTok.
It was a
Fantastic
trend
trend.
that came in a couple waves on TikTok. But we interviewed the guy who wrote those songs, right? His name is Matt Farley. He's incredible. But that was kind of something he said that I think relates to this is at a certain point, if you are feeling like you're in a creative slump or you're feeling like you're sitting on all these ideas, like, at the end of the day, you are going to be the one to make it happen.
Right.
You are going to be the one
Right.
to, quote unquote, be your own hero.
Honestly, yeah, I agree with that. I think, and just like knowing him too, that's just like kind of how Zach is, as a person, and just like his drive with his music, and just outside of like music, just who he is too. It just, I feel like it describes him pretty well. So
I feel like there's a certain attitude or personality that you need to have to be a solo artist like this. Like you really you've really gotta believe in yourself. And it's paying out for him, but for a lot of folks it doesn't, you know.
yeah, I think that's really cool. I feel like I kick that song on the most. So I'll on occasion like kick that song on just all by itself if I'm ever feeling like or like I feel like I'm not motivated to do something. I'll be like, I need this song. Song's gonna little subtle reminder there. I need this song, so I'll kick it on.
A little motivation, a little kick in the pants.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why am I being so hard on myself? Let me
Yeah.
put this on.
It's a good thing to have in your back pocket. I am really excited to talk about track number 7, the next song. Briciola.
You guys
Am I pronouncing that right?
You guys know about that place, right?
I Googled it.
What is it? I did not Google
Would
it.
you give us the spiel?
It's an Italian restaurant. I knew about it in Chicago, but apparently it's in like Colorado, and it's like I think it's in like a couple other places.
Huh.
I love the like chorus of it. That's the last time I'm bringing you to Briciola. It's so good.
It sounds better than that's the last time I'm bringing you to Olive Garden.
Yeah.
So-
Red Robin.
Yeah. Yeah, I Googled it. I saw there was a location in Chicago. I saw there was also a location in New York, and I know that Zach
New York.
at-
That's what it was, not Colorado. It was New
yeah,
York.
yeah. I know he studied at the Columbia that people probably wish we had gone to, Columbia University in New York.
Wait, quick sidebar. Can I get quick sidebar?
Yes.
That? While I was going to Columbia, my aunt had purchased me a Columbia sweater because she didn't know there was another Columbia. So while I was at Columbia College Chicago, I was walking around for like, I don't know, a handful of months wearing something like Columbia, but it wasn't Columbia College Chicago. And people were getting relatively mad at me, and I didn't know why until I realized why the sweater was the other school.
Bro. I think that's funny.
And I was like, oh, this is what's upsetting people. But yeah, just wanted to put that sidebar.
That's very funny. But yeah, this song was fun. This one stood out to me. It was the first one that got kind of like riffy, kind of like rock and roll.
Yeah, I like it. I've actually got a game to play with it once we're done talking about it.
Oh, we have a game. Okay.
Yes. There's less science in it, unfortunately. I wanted more science, but
he actually told the story of Briciola at Space when he played, I think. But I honestly don't remember it off the top of my head now.
No.
I think either he said this or maybe I'm thinking this in my own head, but I feel like that song was like the outlier of the album. Like that one's like a little bit different. Like you said, it's a little bit different than the rest. Has more of like the upbeat to it, a little bit different like meaning and stuff. Which is cool. I think albums need those, right? Like you're not going to drive in the same lane from Illinois to Indiana. Like
totally.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta be changing lanes. So
that's a very good metaphor for the up and down of an album is changing lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you gotta go a little faster, a little slower.
Exactly. So I feel like that one's a little more upbeat.
I feel like it also highlights, I guess, the talent of the producer on this album. Like you can tell he's worked with so many different people just because even with this different style, like the production standard is there, even though it sounds not completely different, but so different vibe wise from the rest of the album. It doesn't feel unwarranted or out of place. Like it's still produced with that same polish, which is cool.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. John is seriously incredible. I can't wait to see what I'm not sure I pretty much know like they're working on something right now. I'd be shocked if they weren't. And I just can't wait to hear what else they're working on because I mean hearing that and hearing who else he's made music for is just top notch. So
hell yeah.
I'm gonna play a little bit Brocchiola. Am I saying that right? Bronchioli.
Broccolini.
Broccoli.
Because it's
actually called broccoli.
There's a line in here. Yeah. There's a line in here
broccoli,
I like a lot.
The song.
Yeah.
And I created a game of it for us. So here it
is. He wrote this song while he was eating broccoli one time.
At a Briciola.
A ton of broccoli.
Well, that's the last time I'm bringing you to Briciola. I'm never ever bringing you there again.
So the line I want to talk about is I ain't ever gonna drink Coca-Cola. Do you think he had a bad time with Coca-Cola at the Briciola? Or did he make that up because they only had Pepsi?
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to ask him about that.
If you run into him or if we get him on the pod, I want to know if there was really
it's a pretty relatable line for me. I stopped drinking pop like 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, I can relate to this.
Yeah.
That's your anthem. Is you ain't ever gonna drink a Coca-Cola?
Yeah. Let alone I never even liked Coca-Cola to begin with. So
I use this phrase already, but nothing else describes it. I'm a big slut for the McDonald's Coca-Cola.
The spicy.
Because they have a little different formula that hits way better.
It hits different, bro.
With a salty fry, yeah. I will have another Coca-Cola. Sorry, Zach Heckendorf. But this song got me thinking because there's a couple other like Briciola is like a chain. Coca-Cola is a name brand. So I did some research into brands and songs, and it has been on the rise since 1930.
Yeah, really? I didn't know that.
Or excuse me, 1960.
I was going to say 1930.
And this is a study done in Denver, Colorado. Shout out Denver, where Zach is from.
Serendipitous.
Yeah. From 1960 to 2013, a total of 1,583 songs in the top 30 billboards had brand names in them. Yeah.
Wow.
And so what I've done, right? And like how many can you think of off the top of your head? Like car names, super popular.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy clothing names.
Totally.
Yeah. So what I've done is I've found some real life lyrics with branding in them, and then I've made some up, and you guys have to guess which are real and which are made up.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And I'm gonna pit you two against each other. How does that sound?
Ooh, we're mortal enemies.
Let's
do it.
Okay, cool.
Let's do it.
Oh, I didn't think of a name for this song. For this game. Let me.
This bit brought to you by ...
That's fantastic. There it is.
Okay.
All right. Is this a real lyric or did Zach make this up? I'm at the Goodwill. You can find me in the Uptons. I'm that sucker searching in that section.
I believe I recognize this one because I think I did a dance to it in high school. I was on a dance team. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is Thrift Shop by Macklemore.
What do you think, Max?
Yeah.
That's yes,
That's what that is.
Yes, it is. All this polo on, I got horsepower. Pound of this cost 4,000.
That's really good. That's got to be real, right?
What do you think, Max?
I'm going to say that's real.
That is Mercy by Kanye West. Man, I sure do love this Honda Civic.
I don't think that's real.
Max, what do you think?
It's fake. That's all. It's fake news.
That's a fake one.
Okay, continue, please.
I still go to the Taco Bell drive-through raw as hell.
I think I know this one, but I'm gonna wait for Max.
I think that's real.
You think that's real, Sarah?
I also think that's real. Do I get a bonus point if I say what it is?
Yeah, if you know who it is, go for it.
I think I do because my mom had this CD and my sister and I listened to it a lot. I think it's Fergalicious by Fergie.
It's Glamorous by
Oh,
Fergie.
Glamorous! Damn it!
You were close. No bonus points, though. Catch me on the Twitch later with all my haters hating on my new gaming PC.
Oh, that's real.
It's real?
Isn't it? Or is that fake?
Does it finally? You tell me.
I mean, I've heard some pretty bad lyrics these days, so I'm gonna
That's
say
true.
it's
That could-
real.
That could be like a SoundCloud rapper. I don't think it's real. Just because Twitch is... No, I don't know. I don't think it's real.
It's real. It's on my mixtape. No, I'm just kidding. I made it up.
Oh, damn it.
I'm glad Max liked it, though.
What?
So
You
it's
guys ever heard
fake.
my new hit single?
Zach, I feel like you actually need to write a mixtape now.
It's
my
called
new-
Twitch. It's called Twitch Haters
Twitch
by Will Max.
In my new gaming PC.
for sure.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if it was real. Like SoundCloud has some interesting content on it, if you know what I'm saying.
That's true. Yeah, have we fact checked these?
You can pass me the Remy, but pass the cores of war. Give me that ass. You could give me that dough.
That sounds like a rap hit. I assume they're
gonna say
talking
that's
about
real.
like Remy Martin.
Yeah, that's super real. And that song is Busta Rhymes. And let me pull up the statistic here. It like doubled Remy Martin's.
Did he bust a rhyme in that lyric?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I bet he busted several.
But it increased Remy Martin's sale like a stupid amount just because he had that one line.
For
in it. And
real?
Yeah, in whatever
I
year
love
this
Busta
came out.
Rhymes.
Yeah. All right, final one. It might be the hardest one. Please purchase this product. The record label paid me $10,000 to put the lyrics Arby's. They have the meats in this hip hop song. What the fuck?
Fake.
I don't know, man. They have the meats.
They have the meats.
I don't think that's real.
That is totally fake, but I wish it was real.
This is what I'm saying. We have to make them real. We have to write these songs.
We have to submit these to oh goodness.
Yeah, you just submit them, and then when someone says they're fake, then you just play it, and you're like, nah, this is real. But it's like a recording of you. You just auto-tune it.
Totally.
It's like,
All right, thank you for playing. Brought to you by.
yeah, I almost had to phone a friend for that last part.
Yeah, you could.
It was a close
You could have
call.
called your dad. That was also an option. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah. Is there any cash prizes for this game?
Bragging rights.
I will take it.
I forgot to keep count. I think Sarah won.
Well, because if there were, I would have lost because I didn't get any bonus points.
No, you didn't.
So-
I didn't
bonus
either. I guessed it wrong.
I'm so sorry, Max. Right off the bat, he goes, Max tells us before we hit record that he's not like a big, how did you phrase it, Max?
Movie person?
Or like
reference
lyric
person?
reference person. And then both the games I brought to the table were like big references.
If you look at the footage, my eyes are probably just like, you know, when it gets to that point, whoever the editor is, just edit me just for like 2
zoom
seconds
in on
just
that.
Just like crickets.
Are there any tunes in this last quarter of the album you guys want to hit on real hard?
The one that I actually had notes for is the last song on the album. We were talking about weddings a little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, that is a wedding song.
Yeah, totally, right?
Take to the floor. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. If there's nothing you guys want to talk about before that, I would love to take it to the floor.
Take it to the floor for us, Sarah.
Take it to the bridge.
Do you want to say it's a little cheesy to have 2 strong songs in a row?
I did. that was a gripe.
That's the only small criticism I have of this whole masterpiece.
I did think that was a little silly. But then I felt like there was some like really nice lyricism at the end of this.
Yeah.
There was a lyric in the song Take to the Floor that was like, first you're young and then you're just young in the scheme of things. And I listened to that and I was like,
That's kind of nice.
whoa,
Yeah.
shit. Like we're getting a little deeper here. We're getting kind of existential for a wedding song.
Yeah. And people are playing it at their weddings. Like, that's a great song to play. I have yet to hear it at a wedding I've worked, but I know that people are because he told me, or someone told me at least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like a great first dance.
I wonder if that's to get a little bit into the music businessy brain I have. I wonder if that's a good move as a songwriter to be like, hey, I'm gonna have this hit wedding song.
Well, okay, here's a little sidebar I guess I
Sure.
can bring up. He has that other song, I think it's Harvest. The Harvest is the other one.
Is this his second wedding song?
Yeah, that's the other one that like people know about.
Okay.
It's interesting because Take to the Floor is more of like it feels more like direct to like a wedding song.
Mhm.
Harvest is a wedding song, but it didn't intend on being a wedding song from what I at least remember or was told. He wrote that song. I think it was all about finding himself and like it was all about like him and self-discovery and all that, which is crazy because then it was like it just turned into this song that people are playing at their weddings, which I think if you listen to Take to the Floor off the bat, like you guys were saying, it's like you're like, ooh, wedding song.
Yeah. Is he
Totally.
married? Do we know if he's married?
No, he's not.
Maybe he can sing it on his own wedding someday.
Dang, that would be sick.
That's a power move.
Wow, that's my new goal in life. I have to write a wedding song now.
That'd be a power move.
Doing your first dance with a mic. One hand on my wife, the other on my mic. Everybody pay attention. This is my moment.
I did one wedding where like the groom actually was like the guitarist of the band and he played like a couple songs and then someone like filled in for him and then he got on the floor or something. It was something like that. I was like, oh, I've never seen this before. Like that's interesting.
That'd be pretty dope.
That's fun.
Yeah.
It was like his band or it was really weird, but it was cool. But yeah, I love Take to the Floor and that the video for that song. If you haven't seen the video, go on YouTube, search that song, watch the video.
Yeah, we'll share it.
I think it was filmed in the middle of like some church pews or something like that.
Hmm.
Some very churchy vibes and very like, I don't know, very cool video. I'd highly recommend checking that out.
Right on.
He has some really cool music videos. I feel like I'm promoting on his behalf, but he has some like really cool music videos. I've like sent them to a few people, more or less of like some simplistic ideas that turn into really cool videos. And he also has a bunch of like live videos and a whole bunch from Hawk Talk that came out during quarantine. I think a couple are on YouTube right now, but the rest are like, I don't know what they're going towards. But it was a whole thing I bought during quarantine of like him playing through Hawk Talk. But yeah, he's a lot of good stuff on his YouTube.
Oh, he's done an audio tree session.
And Audio Tree. Yeah, that was way back when.
Yeah, 6 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's so young in this.
Yeah.
Baby.
Baby. Sweet boy.
The song that's popping right now for people that are listening, the one that has 1,333,478 listens is The Garden.
Oh.
Just like it's a crazy amount of listens. And it keeps like changing. I know like Up was up there on the popular ones, and now I think Cigarettes is next, followed by Lust and Wonder, The Harvest, and All the Right Places, which is like crazy. I feel like people just keep listening to his stuff because that list is always changing. I feel like just so cool.
Might be about time to award this album a Brewski.
Yes, I think it is that time. Have you, Max, any ideas as we discussed it? Anything that might be worthy of the Rabruski Award? I've got one to help get our brains ticking. I'm not sold on it, but I'm gonna throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. The most likely to get me to stop drinking Coca-Cola.
Okay. What about the Rabruski for aviary linguistics? Because it's
he's
hot
a
talk.
bird. Can the Rabruski just be bird, all capitalized?
No.
Most likely to make me not go to Breachiola.
What about like worst Breachiola Yelp review?
That's fantastic. I think that's it. I think we sold it.
Okay.
On a more surface level note, I actually, now that I said that, there's a part of me that a deeper part of me that actually wants to try out Breachiola because of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, now I'm interested.
Ooh, fettuccine
Let's see what's cracking
Alfredo.
with this place. And if I have a bad experience, then that's the last time I'm going to Breachiola.
Yeah.
We'll see about the Coca-Cola.
You guys will, since I don't drink pop.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I don't drink beer either, and I don't drink alcohol. Kind of, that was the original intent of the podcast, and then I had to break the news. I had to break it to them, and
Yeah. We were really,
they were both in tears when I told them.
we were
but
gonna do
they
a
got
brew
over
of
it.
other sorts and do some coffee. But we didn't make that either.
But you were too busy wiping your tears.
I know,
right?
yeah. From the
So I
it's
just
too much
had to
time
settle
killed.
for a LaCroix.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Hey, LaCroix, excuse me.
Of course. Oh, LaCroix.
LaCroix.
That's how you pronounce it when you're at a Breachiola.
You're looking at the menu at Briciola. Oh, excuse me. Could I get a LaCroix?
They kick you out, and you're like, oh, that's the last time I'm going to Breachiola.
Oh.
Well, Zach, you've won the award, the Rabruski Award, the worst Breachiola review.
Yay.
And you didn't hear that from me. That came from Sarah. I am completely unoriginal.
Congratulations.
Zach, you did it.
Yeah, I forgot to clap. Late clap.
We'll edit it in.
Edit in a large crowd because there's a big crowd of people that are watching us right now.
Yeah.
They're
Mhm.
Our live studio
They're out of-
audience.
We had one of
live
those
studio
last week.
that are out
yeah.
of frame.
Thank you so much, Max, for being here today. And thank you to everyone watching and listening along at home. We are Album or Brews and will continue to be Album or Brews. If you want to find us on the internet, we are on Instagram and Twitter at Album or Brews, or you can check out our website, www.albumorbrews.com.
Big thanks
Do
to
it.
Cameron Bob. Yeah, do it. Max told you to. For editing our show and writing our theme song at Cameron Bob on the internet places. Max, where can the folks go find you? Where can they go find all your plethora of content?
There's a lot of places. You can find me on Instagram at Max Williams Video, all one word. You can find me on TikTok at WillMax95, which is an old username. Probably should have retired that, but I didn't. And then you can find me on YouTube at WillMax95 as well. So it's WILLMAX95, culmination of my first and last name and birth year. And then you can also find me on YouTube at Saul Good Podcast. There's an old one that someone just dropped, but mine's the one with like the font inside the profile picture. There's like 15 or 16 episodes. I don't know. Who knows? By the time someone listens, there might be 30 on there. Maybe 130.
130.
Who knows? Maybe we'll be at 130,000, but we'll see. Anyway, I think that's everywhere. And then my website, maxwilliams1.com, where I shoot video stuff.
Was Mac Williams taken? You had to...
Yeah, I had to take the number one seat.
Yeah,
I'm
there
the
you
number
go.
one.
Because you're
The
number
rest of
one.
them, yeah. The rest of them can go kick rocks.
Yeah.
I'm the main one.
Yeah,
That's
he
me.
was number one. Well, cool, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you, Max. Go follow him on all the internet places. His podcast is fantastic. He's got some awesome names on there, like Austin, and he will tell you why not to go to Columbia if we haven't already.
Hey, thanks for having me on your podcast. I appreciate it. It was really nice. Nice being a guest for the first time. It was pretty chill. It was a good time. You guys have a fun episode, fun little shindig. I had a good time on here.
Yay.
So
Yeah, glad to hear.
appreciate you guys. And, I'll say it again, but go listen to their stuff. Go listen to their episodes. And maybe they'll do more video episodes. This is the first video episode.
Yeah.
So there you go. More content for you. Maybe you'll see us on TikTok, other places, but go follow them on socials. They're good people and
Wow.
make it a good
Thanks.
time. So
We appreciate it.
go listen.
Well, with
I'll have you guys
that-
on my pod at some point.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we'd love it.
Yeah, we're down.
Yes.
This is where we get really close to the mic and we say a very tender goodbye to everyone. All right?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, God, that was... Oh. Bye-bye.